Let's get cracking!
Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the D2CL, the Champions League, where we had the best teams in Europe, as well as a bit of US, line up against each other in a, two-group stage effort to get into that number one position to get straight through into the semifinals, and the second and third position will be able to advance themselves through into the quarterfinals. Single elimination, all matches, best of 5. That's the way the playoffs are done, and we're in our last matches. That's right, there's only 4 matches left to play out as far as the groups go, and we're in our last match right now of one of those groups, and that is VP going up against Cloud9 in game number 3. Cloud9 had themselves a very convincing performance in game number 1. In game number 2, VP, they played the patient game, they played the smart game, and they ended up beating out Cloud9. In game number 3, we're going to find out what's in store for us right now as we go ourselves into our draft, and we'll see VP over on the Dire side. Over on the Radiant side, Cloud9 will be taking up their slots. As you see, we're pretty far through our draft at the moment, with Clockwork, Venomancer, and Doombringer coming back in again. Now, this lineup looks rather familiar now, doesn't it? Doombringer and Clockwork, VP were running it the last time around, and you see their bans again too, taking out both the Visage as well as the Ember Spirit. Surprisingly, in their second row of bans, they take out the Bounty Hunter, obviously that's not the surprising part, and the Nyx Assassin, but they don't take out the Bane. And the main reason for this, I'm pretty sure, is you're looking at the Nightmare. The Nightmare combination with Ancient Apparition really isn't that great. So there's not much point having him. They need a proper laner instead. They would have preferred to have a Visage. They might be forced to go into something more. And they can't do Enchantress or Chen either, just because the Doombringer is such a problem. You're going to be devouring up creep after creep when you go into the fight, and if he wants to as well, you can see a very, very farmed up Illidan Doombringer, for example, and then you're just going to have Hand Midas and Devour. Chen's army is toast. You'll never be able to use it unless you're really just... You're playing the gambling game of saying they'll get their stuff off before Doombringer will start to take advantage of them. The question for Bone7 right now is, does he try and go back into the same carries we saw in the last game with the Lifestealer? You do already have the combination with the Mirana, so you're able to leap yourself in. Mirana doesn't want to always put herself on the front lines like that. In fact, you normally want to have somebody else combine up with him, and then you could be looking at, like, you could try another off-lane puck, or something like that. That'll be some nice control. But you want someone up against the Clockwork too. Someone that's happy to fight directly up against the Clockwork and can kill the Doombringer later. And they actually say we'll go with the Chen. So they will play the gambling game and grab the Chen up and running. So with Mirana, normally played by Sing Sing in the middle lane, they'll put the Ancient Apparition down the bottom lane, just babysitting out one hero. And this opens up VP, not to go fully aggressive. They were able to in the last game because they had the AA Chilling Touch buff up with the Weaver. So there was a large amount of damage output, which can make a lot of space for yourself, which it did as well. So they probably are looking more at a safer route in this game. Just put the Clockwork on the off lane. Ancient Apparition is actually quite good up against the Clockwork, and with the Chen coming in from the side, the only thing Clockwork will have to worry about is being dived in, past his own secret shop in Ancient area, and then the rotation in behind his own tier 1 tower next to his tier 2. So that'll be something which VP has to keep his, like the Clockwork, which with the offlane Smile, has to keep his eyes peeled for. While the Doombringer will just be farming up, Venomancer will be pulling and supporting, and zoning out any hero that's up on this top lane that can't return the damage of the Venomancer. Initially, I would have said Timbersaw would have been a really good pickup on this top lane, but recently I've kind of changed my thoughts on that one. Watching a couple of off-lane Timbersaws versus Venomancer support, when you get Poison Sting up at level 1, Timbersaw can be completely zoned out. And it's a real problem. You burn through most of your consumables, and normally you'd think your reactive armor would like be able to keep you up and running, but yeah, it doesn't really work that way. It doesn't really work that way. I'm trying to find out right now what's going to be happening with oh, you greedy people, VP, and Morphling. All right. We got split push. We got a lot of initiation. We're looking nice for C9. They can really force down fights too, and Enigma's not really great for counter pushing as such. But he can get rid of, yeah. Yeah, you can get rid of at least a couple of those. Well, one maybe, of Chen's army. She can't take the big one, so yeah, he'll have to be a little bit careful. But I'm actually asking the admins to calculate who's going to win remaining. As far as like the standings go. So basically, according to the rule set, we have group standings determined according to the following parameters in descending order of importance. So the total points accumulated, which means basically your results. So C9 actually ended up having a couple of losses, so they could actually find themselves being knocked out even if they win this game. The face-to-face meeting results, a dispute between two teams. Obviously, that doesn't count because it's not a dispute between two teams. The total matches 1 count, and the difference in matches 1 between lost and disputing teams. So basically, VP's forced to a third. Right now, it kind of looks pretty bad for Speed Gaming if you're looking at all of that, because Speed Gaming have still been forced to 3 games in every single match. And the Liquid versus VP, that's where they could actually knock themselves through, because Liquid actually got 2-0'd. They didn't win a game when they played that. And the other 2-0 was when they actually beat PR. So on each side, if you're actually calculating here, Cloud9 have won more games in total than Team Liquid has. So we could see both VP and Cloud9 advance themselves through, and Liquid gets eliminated. But that's a whole different story. Let's just focus on this game for now. I'm going to let them calculate it so we know who the hell is going to come through. And I'll tell you at the end of this match so we don't go, oh, this game means nothing. Which I don't think it does. I actually think if Cloud9 win this, they actually get through, because it's the last game in their group. There is no more to play. And I was actually wrong. It's not 4 games left. It's this game and 2 others, which is Alliance versus Roskis and Fnatic versus Sigma. They are the last 2 games to play.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
All right, so Bone 7. Last selection, man. We're looking at a core hero. Shouldn't be for Sing Sing, it should be our off-lane hero, and we're actually going to get a Beastmaster. Not a hero we get a lot of, and it's normally a hero you look for aura stacks with. The only auras you're going to have is Chen and Beastmaster himself. But, at the same time, with the Beastmaster selection, actually with the AA Chen and Morphling, they could consider going aggressive tri-lane. They would have to dominate VP's jungle before they went up there. That would be, like, essential kind of thing. But it's an interesting last selection. It's mainly meant for the Enigma. They don't have anything that will get through a BKB of Jotems to cancel off unless Dark Troll Warlord Summoners in the perfect position as far as the fights go. And then they have another way of also initiating in on the Doombringer, maybe a way to control up the Clinks. And then Chen is a little bit more free to do what he wants to do as well. And Morphling, same kind of scenario. So Beastmaster is a space maker and a person who's going to be trying to get as much farm up on that top lane as possible. The downside is obviously Venomancer is going to completely harass him out of the lane. And by doing so, yeah, they need an extra minute. Yeah, but like Beastmaster, maybe he can walk over here and start stacking up the ancient area here. That's a possibility for him. They don't really have a good lineup to get rid of the ancient stack until Beastmaster is able to afford up a bottle or possibly Soul Ring. Then you'll be able to get through a little bit more of the ancient stack, and then you get the burst farm coming his way. But you don't have a clearance hero. In fact, nobody from either team have a real clearance hero. The only way you can pick up an ancient stack with VP is if you kite it out with like Venomancer wards. That'll be one way to do it. Or Clinks just kites it from range anyway. So, that'll be one way you could try and approach this. And I'm interested to see if C9 really do want to go aggressive tri-lane. Because with this lineup, like, you know Enigma's going to be in the jungle, and you can force Venomancer out of the lane with an Ancient Apparition. So you could try and run. You could almost switch up your lanes as well and put Beastmaster in the middle lane. Because you've got to remember that the Doombringer should be in the mid. So you could run Beastmaster up against the Doombringer, and then throw Sing Sing, Aoi, and Pylai Die up to the north. And then Morphling down on the bottom lane up against the Clockwork. Because Morphling's going to have no problem with the Clockwork. He cogs you up and battery assaults you. You should have no problem casting your waveform to get back out of that. And even then you dish out the damage towards the Clockwork. So, if we move away from the normal lanes where players are meant to be, where players normally play, we could be looking at a really awesome combination of lanes coming out from C9. And VP, if they go with the Stockholm standard, which is the Clockwork off lane, Clinks goes over towards the top lane. They could switch that around too. We have Illidan on the Doombringer, so more than likely the Clinks will actually in fact be in the middle lane, which means actually Sing Sing's got to go up against him. But then that doesn't really work with the top lane synergy, because your Beastmaster isn't going to be a follow-up stun with Pylai Die. He's not going to go Boar level 1 and say, yeah, come on, we'll slow you, yeah, because Boar's level 1. Like, what is that? Like your Boar, not available. Boom. You need level 2, and even that's going to summon only a lesser Boar. So there's just no way to do it. So Illidan's happy to go again. Hopefully Cloud9 are also back at their computers. Reminder too, guys, we have, I don't know if we've actually hit our next stretch goal as far as our prize pool goes. But I know D2CL are, of course, doing out their stretch goal. If you watch the video with AC and our breaks, you'll understand that one. And, yeah, we've actually managed to get up to, I think it's, yeah, you actually see it in the corner right there. So we've gone over $121,000 as far as the prize pool goes for this. And this goes all into the teams. Every cent goes into the teams of that prize pool. So it's a beautiful thing. For the $10 USD, the ticket costs, you also get the Pudge set, which is over on the side. You also get a couple of other things which came out with the ticket. And then you have the awesome feeling of knowing you contributed to a better prize pool. And then you get your stretch goals, which is meant to be like our 1v1 mid-solo competition and a couple of other things as well. So awesome games. Awesome games all time round. And when we hit our playoffs finally too, it's going to be great as well. Because Empire as well as Na'Vi, they're guaranteed semi-final positions in opposite parts of the grid. Who plays up against them, however, that's where it gets interesting. Because Alliance, in their current position in Group 1, if they stay where they are, then they will be the ones facing up against the third position in Group 2. And would face Na'Vi in the semi-final. If I understand our grid correctly, that'll be what happens. So we could have ourselves an Alliance versus Na'Vi semi-final matchup for the D2CL, which would be one hell of a best-of-5 battle. So, okay, so that's what's going wrong. The team's been screwing up on them. It's a good thing Raidcall's not a sponsor of this competition. Scores them. Obviously, you just use Skype. As long as that people still get DDoS with that. Shouldn't mention that word on a live stream. Really shouldn't mention that word on a live stream. I actually had an answer from D2CL as far as this goes. So if C9 wins, they will have 6 points, and VP will have 6 points. C9 won the matchup against VP, so they advance to the second place. If VP wins, VP has 7 points. C9 and Team Liquid have 5 points, and Team Liquid won over C9, so they're advancing from the third place. So basically, if C9 wins this, they go through in second position, and if C9 loses this, they're out. That's all it comes down to. In fact, that's the same for both teams. So this is the deciding game. So it is confirmed. This is the game. You win this, you're into the playoffs, and you battle out for the lion's share of the $121,000 prize pool, and increasing. So let's check out our lanes, people, because it looks like they are going to do it. We've got VP moving as one to try and protect up their jungle for now, but we are going to see Pylai Die as well as Sing Sing run this dual off lane, which means Bone 7 goes towards the middle lane. I'm interested to see if Illidan's going to switch up his lanes too and then come in towards the mid. Or if they will... Nah, God's built for the mid. He'll definitely stay there. Which means bottom lane, Eternal Envy, solo with Owie in the jungle. And he'll be babysitting him out a little bit. So he'll be grabbing a creep. And the most important thing for Owie is to find something like a Harpy in the very, very early levels so we can push Sergey. Oh, God, sorry. Again, I don't know why I call him Sergey, because it is his real name. I just got used to being in Kiev, and they, like, we'd always talk to him like Sergey, as opposed to God, which is, yeah. That's where it came from, people, if you're ever wondering why I call him Sergey and not just God.
The battle begins.
Yeah, but we will be having, we're going to be looking for the Harpy, sorry, coming out from Owie 2000. Something like that, or a Saturn. Just something to force him out of the lane. They might even try and give him some early advantage, push Venomancer there. As Illidan, actually, they're going to switch this up. So we're just going to have Clockwork up on the top lane, up against the dual lane. Morphling will then go up against a Venomancer, as well as a Doombringer. That's fine for a Morphling. I don't think Aui's going to have any kind of major problems with this. Bone7's the only one that could have problems with this, but this is what you do as a Beastmaster. All you gotta do is just basically use your axes at the right times, get your bottle up and running as quickly as possible. He got the Star Shield because he realized he'll be going up against the Clinks. So this is just allowing him to, yeah, Pilot Eye being a dick. This is just going to allow him to find some easy farm. Not having to shut down Sergei's farm, but the most important thing is find level 6. Don't let too many creeps get denied there in the middle lane. And from there, try and win the lane. That's the primary thing. NS is, for some reason, battling up against its Mind Stealer. Well, we got Mana Burn. That's what it is. That's Chen's creep right there, Mana Burning out NS. He went Poison Sting at level 1, so he's not going to have a Gale anyway. But by Mana Burning out the Doombringer, like, he's got Saddle Regeneration, so he'll have life points, but we're not going to be seeing any kind of Scorched Earth being available to him anytime soon. And he won't be able to spam out his Devour and get that huge amount of gold coming in. So Sing Sing gets a lot of space as well. He's managed to get 7 for 6 up on this top lane. I don't know if that means he hasn't missed a single creep or not, but it's pretty damn good right now. Oh, really? Really? Solo First Blood on the bottom lane. And that goes the way of Eternal Envy. Cloud9 couldn't have asked for a better start. Solo kill on a Morphling. And now we can zone out Illidan as well. So I'm not quite sure about these lanes. Clockwork would have been, well, he wouldn't have killed on the bottom lane. But he could have played a little bit more passive. And then Doombringer farming up. We already got Enigma inside the jungle, so he doesn't want any kind of interruption for himself. But you got Pylai Die that's causing it. He's soaking up the experience, and he's trying to make sure these clarities can't easily trigger. Like, Jom's got one going now, which gets cancelled off by the Centaur. But Pylai Die is not giving him space. And with the Chilling Touch too, Pylai Die, this is the reason why I'm watching him. He needs 2 more hits and he'll be able to kill off Jodam just then. But he couldn't get them off. And now Chen, new creep to grab. So you'll be using this to try and push Illidan or NS out of the bottom lane. Gale is leveled up for NS, so Aui's going to be careful about getting in a little bit too close. But he knows with the Illusion Rune too, the Gale's just going to be thrown out, and then you're going to find the real one anyway. And the Gale's not going to dish out any damage, so it's very, very hard to detect it. Jodam's gone back to base. He's not even level 3 yet. And he's been zoned out. While up on top lane, Smart's at least able to hide inside of his own cogs. Arrow is still not fired there by Sing Sing, but leap in, and he misses the point blank range arrow. With the Starfall, I think they've still got enough damage. One more attack. There she flies, a quick salve, but then also the AA hitting in. Sing Sing's got to change his target. There we go. So the Clockwork now goes down the top lane. So the solo from VP dies. The support hero against the solo of C9 also dies. And rightly so, the gold graph will spike as well as the experience graph. And Bone7's not really been shut down here in the mid. Like, he's 8-1 up against 21 for 6. Now, I'm not going to say he's doing great in CS, because that really does belong to Clinks. But he's found level 5. That's the most important thing for him. Hitting level 6 is the primary goal right now. Everything else can be repaired. There's that Doom taking out the Chen creep. At least Jodam's now going to have his Soul Ring, and they may be considering going on Pylai Die. He's got the high ground, though, so it's just one Searing Arrow to do the 98 damage. But Bone7 finds his level 5 now, and Envy, Waveform's on cooldown, and NS gets the perfect rune. With the Poison Sting and the Gale on him as well. Eternal Envy really has no movement speed to speak of. And that's why Aui's now rotated into the lane too. So he'll soak up the experience up against Illidan. So they don't waste anything. While up on top lane, Pylai Die. Locked in with the Clockwork. Again, no arrow, but they don't require it. So Smile will die for the 2nd time up here on the top lane. Getting himself trapped inside of his own death of cogs. His own death, his own wall of cogs. And Bone7 returns to mid. Quick access, easy farm. I like how he did that too. It's a small little thing. No, I'm not just talking about, oh, he threw axes when he spawned. Hey! But you keep the fountain regeneration going when you arrive, as long as you don't get attacked. So you're able to basically throw out the axes, but more importantly, you can actually use an extra bottle charge. So you guarantee yourself that you'll have your full mana when you get out. So that's what he did. He threw the axes, triggered the bottle charge, and that made sure he was 100% mana when he came back into the lane. When that level 6 hits, I'd look for the rotation. AA is actually already here in the middle lane. He's not the rotation they need, though, to get the kill. And NS going to search for a Gale. And they've got to move Aoi in. Paladai in. 47's going to take a lot of damage to a Vortex, just to slow him down for now. That's all he really needed to do. And buys him the space. Now, he, in fact, has come in towards middle lane. Bone 7 just needs, like, one creep to die next to him. And he adds level 6. And with a Chen Nuke and a Dark Troll Trap, they have detection. It's dust on Beastmaster. So he just needs one creep to die. If he throws the Axis straight away, it might force Sergei to a god to go invis. So that's why he's been a little bit more defensive about this, because Troll's still got to get himself in a perfect position. Wonderful artwork, Sing. That is a very disturbing image. Because I don't know what type of assist you've got in that thing, man, but you should be worried about that. Alright, so Aoi's now going to move down. And they come in. Dust to pop. Roar's hit. Perfect timing of the level 6. The Chen Nuke, though, is very minimal damage. That's why they need the Troll Trap. And then Paladai gives the buff up a damage. And they really hit hard. Doombringer's going to come in as well. There's no Devour, so he just takes out the Dark Troll the old-fashioned way. But Mirana Oldie is now up. They throw it in the Sentry Ward. They're searching for the kill on NS. Pylai die. He's 1 hit away from death. And Doom, actually with the Scorched Earth, is able to get the kill. Eternal Envy now into the middle lane. Sentry Ward sees him quite clearly. They need some extra trap, though. Waveform up. Not enough damage, and he didn't get in front, so we couldn't lock him there. And Illidan, he could have turned and just triggered off the Doom. It wouldn't have got the kill, however, which is why he didn't want to use it. But they waste some time of Eternal Envy. But they put Pylai Die now on the bottom lane up against the Enigma. He's trying to find his levels and control the lane down here. The Pylai will be fine with this. He's going to try and farm up as many of the conversions as possible. Get as much experience out of that lane as is humanly possible. It was a nice move by Sing Sing, though, using that Moonlight Shadow. Really gave him a lot more space to move. Of course, they kept doing it underneath the Sentry Ward, so it wasn't really that great. And poor Ancient Apparition. There's only so much he could do when he's running past a Scorched Earth Doombringer, who's about to gank up Sing Sing. And Sing Sing, Phase Boots into the tree line. Now, Illidan, you'll see him leap, not in time. Phase Boots obviously going to remain on cooldown, and the Gal will connect too. So Sing Sing, he'll die right now, but maybe he can pick up NS. He did that extra attack to kill off the Venomancer. It's a shame for them AA isn't level 6 yet, or else this NS will be dead.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But he is not. And Morphling's not looking for the kill. So he's actually already used his replicate. God. Waveform damage. And the axes. They fly out and they kill off the Clinks. And this instantly makes the death for Sing Sing worth it on the top lane. I kind of... Yeah. It's still moving up. Because every single trade is still NS. I love his confidence, but Pylai is approaching level 6 rather rapidly. So he's got to be cautious about what he's doing, as he'll end up losing his own life. Speaking of which, again, another Sing Sing arrow able to connect, and this time it's over on Smile. So this is what now, his third death? Yeah, his third death on this off lane, or this safe lane for VP. They're just starting to feed kills over. I suppose it can be the same way for the Doombringer. He's managed to pick up 2 kills, but you're not going to see his net worth go through the roof. In fact, it's only 3.3k. For a guy who's got 4 points up in Devour, that's really poor, actually. Same with the Clinks. He's at 2.6, because he's also got 2 deaths to his name. No kills in there. So there's no massive momentum being gained on either the Doom or the Clinks for VirtusPro, and especially not the Clockwork. It's a basic stick and brown boot Clockwork. He's doing nothing. He's not even level 6. He needs to get the experience from 2 of these creeps right now if he wants to hit level 6, so then maybe he can start hook-shotting in. And that's the reason why he's just sitting here instead of smoke. There is an observer ward just around the corner, but he basically has to walk past this line to be spotted. So right now, Pylai is going to feel very confident. There's your level 6. There's your hook shot in. He doesn't have the AA ulti available. The Cold Feet will launch on Smile, but there's no TP support coming in. Maleficus was also used there by Jottam to ensure the kill. So that's a good kill for Clockwork. Finally, they get themselves on the board. as far as those two heroes in the bottom lane. But Bone 7, DD Rune, level 8. The fact he's been able to have that extra transition in to make sure he wins the lane up against the Clinks has really been worth it. In fact, Clinks has now just moved to the jungle. I think he just bought up gloves, so is that meant to be for... It should be his treads. Because there's no way he can go in for a hand of Midas right now. A little bit more trouble right now for the Clockwork. Waveform's already been used, but look at that movement speed. Haste, and he stayed inside the cogs. One more attack from inside. Envy won't move, so he doesn't burn off any of his mana. And then back into the fight. And they're moving towards mid. Undead Army and a Centaur is in here. And this is also with 2 points up in the inner beast aura, so they attack hard and fast. Morphling though, I think he wants this farm on the conversions. Yeah, Waveform through him. He wants every single one of these guys if he can grab them. That's just free gold right there on the bottom lane, because the tier 1 tower was going to be taken anyway. Yet 3 heroes committed to that, and he left a replicate behind too. So push out the bottom lane. Maybe even one more Waveform over this creep wave to make sure it's got some momentum. And then jump in with the replicate. And they'll move up towards the top tier 1 tower. And this is at the same time, they just TP'd the Doombringer to the bottom lane. Did he jump the replicate? No. He actually let the replicate time out. Don't know if that was the best plan, because he could have completely dodged this attempted gank. Look at Hillerton. It's the Observer Ward. The Observer Ward saw him. This is the reason why this was never going to work against up against Eternal Envy. Because he was being watched the entire time. And now Aoi just intercepts the creep wave, and then take the tier 1 tower up on the top. C9 being so methodical. This is more like their game 1 play, where VP, in their game 2 play, when they had the control, they weren't being pressured like this by C9. And really, they can't. Like, Clockwork jumps in and he'll die almost instantly. Morphling, like, you're going to doom him up, and then attack him a little bit, but Bone 7's going to come in as well. He's looking for a target to roar. He's going to do it on Smile. With the Chilling Touch damage, they've already got the kill. Now Morphling, he'll die at least, but up on top lane, the tier 2 tower's being pressured. NS will TP up here, but he's got no mana to really play around with. Doom, he might be able to devour one of these creeps, but getting Centaur stomped up means he's going nowhere. But it's a Morphling kill, which is good. That was a 3 kill streak, which they actually took off him. No money because he bought the ultimate all before death. But it's still 2 heroes for the price of 1. And it's the Clinks and the Clockwork that went down for the price of the Morphling. At this stage of the game, I'd probably say that may actually be worth it for VP. Because it's the best trade they could hope for. TP in, and they saw Clinks go invis. This Observer Ward. That VP have got to get rid of this. Pilot Eye could have actually fought this underneath his tower. Because the Death Pact is not there for God just yet. He's going to use it on one of the big creeps. At least now he's got the extra life points and damage. But it really is not smooth sailing here for VP. Even as far as those key items go. We've got a mech coming up, an Enigma. But this is 13 minutes for an Enigma, who I can't say had free jungle time because the AA was being very, very offensive against him. But you got Drum's phase boots on the Doombringer. With an Orb of Venom, is there something else on the Courier? Yeah, there is. The best thing is Illidan had to have more money than that. So he's starting up a Shadow Blade. Which probably means it won't be long until we see a gem appearing over on C9. But even then, like, Shadow Blade, you'll have to level death to start up on the Morphling, because Morphling's building into a Lincoln Sphere. I don't know how long it's going to take the Doombringer to find that remaining 1,400 gold to get the Claymore. Either way, it's going to take him too long. There's 3 Centaurs pushing at the bottom lane. 1 stun, and it will ruin it all for one of these heroes. Because the others will just come in and just tank it up for him. And they'll just beat down top of this tier 1 tower. They might look for a trade up on the top. There's smoke from Jottam as well as Illidan. I don't think that was intentional. But they'll try and go for a trade. But in this scenario, C9, they don't have to lose a tier 1 tower. So they can TP back to defend. In fact, the AOL has already been sent top. Fortification, not available. And the Beastmaster was the guy that came up. With a Blink Dagger on him, he can go blink into a Roar on Jottam. Even then, that won't be enough damage. Not even with Roar and Axes, it wouldn't be enough. They'll need like Eternal Envy to waveform into it on top of that. And Bone 7, he's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. Maleficus and Doom. They commit everything, while on the bottom lane, Smile's now going to go down. So it's an off-laner for an off-laner. Clinks gets one, Morphling gets the other. And that's going to speed up that perseverance for Morphling too. When this bottom tier 2 tower goes down, then they'll have the money for at least the perseverance. But there is a trade-off. It's good searing arrows with a DD rune from the Clinks. The ALD is flying top again, and an arrow up 2 going to miss completely. And Jotun does get hit by the AA ulti. But it ends up just being a straight tower trade. Tier 1, Tier 2. Take a hero for a hero. Can't get much more of a trade than that. 1 second to replicate. There we go. Up towards the top lane for Envy. And now does he go in for the Manta style? There is the Orchid coming for Clinks, but it's still a while off. Just because of that really bad start. All those deaths to his name, it was just a really bad start. But this AA, it's amazing how quickly too. It's Tranquil Boots into an Aghanim Scepter. They're just giving Parlay Dice so much space and farm. And he's going to come and watch this bottom rune. NS is down here as well. He's actually no match for this AA. A Vortex into an ulti with a Cold Feet. You would die almost instantly. So 16 minutes and the rune spawns top. It's going to be a regeneration. As the cockerel doth crow. Smile's moving up, but Sing Sing very quick underfoot. And Pilot Eye back into the middle lane. Back to his farming. He needs another 800 gold. And then we'll probably ask for nothing more from the rest of his team. He won't steal their farm anymore. While Envy with 2.6k gold. The fact that he hasn't bought the Perseverance yet really makes me consider that we're looking at a different item. And not the Lincoln Sphere. He could be also worried about having buyback available. That could be the other thing. And with someone like a Chen behind you, like Aui's already got Mech and Hand of God available for his team. So there should be no way that Eternal Envy could die. Illidan's going to have a crack here. A Pylite die. Hits him once and then straight into the Doom. Now TP support's going to come in here. The question is, can they catch him? Raw needs the vision. Needs the vision. There goes your Raw. Arrow from Sing Sing will now fly down. That'll be at least 3, maybe 4 seconds. And with the waveform in, they take down Illidan. And the Doom doesn't kill Pylite Eye. He's got no good club and a point booster. He's got more than enough life points to survive that. And the Doombringer starts pushing up the daisies, and this means this graph's going to start to, it starts to rise again in favor of Cloud9. And Cloud9 have the option now. They either push the tier 2 tower in the mid, or they consider Roshan. With the Clockwork still up, they probably wouldn't really want to go in for Roshan, especially with Venomance trying to throw wards in as well. They don't really have a vision advantage here in this game. But they throw the Mirana ulti off. This is so Sing Sing can be on this bottom lane. I think he wants to kill off Smile. The rocket flies out. Smile bumped into him for a moment. Now Smile should have noticed that. Courier delivers in the Mana style for Mirana. And now he's going to see the Clockwork. Starfall, a little bit of extra damage. He's going to have to leap if he wants him, maybe. Oh, the creep wave! It's his own creep wave blocking him in. If Sing Sing only knew this, he would go for the kill and they'd be like, wait, Clockwork was meant to be here. The timing was right for him to be here. The Smile had to stick around, and they got Leap and Starfall. TP out, the arrow, it saw him. The Starfall will hit. His body goes back, sends it to his parents. But he is in fact dead from the bottom lane Starfall. It still was able to connect. While the arrow didn't hit, it gave that extra bit of vision to allow him to see Smile try and TP out that one. When Smile really just, he hit a wall. His own creep wall. Not what they're looking for. And top lane, Pylite Eye, spend your money now. Because Illidan's on the hunt for you. The sentry ward saw him coming. Now Illidan actually gets attacked while he's inside that Shadow Blade. So they know what's going on. As we get ourselves a new replica made for the AA. Korea's taking some sweet ass time to get back to base. It's got no high movement speed. So they want to fight up on top lane. Chilling Touch. Hey, ulti. Ah, it's too short. Illidan's into Invis already. I don't think they had any kind of other reveal. Morphling doesn't have dust up on him, but he's got the Lincoln Sphere. So he's feeling very confident with himself, because he knows Illidan basically has to use something else to attack. And he doesn't really have that much mana to start with. It's not as though we're going up against an EMP Tornado kind of combination of the Invoker, but it's the fact that his abilities just cost him so much. Even the mana burn ability he stole. You want to take 50 mana out of a 600 mana pool? So they're going to walk up the mid now. Nah, there goes the ping. That's Sing's ping to Roshan. Normally the way they do this though, Sing has to back up to let the arrow rip, which means pushing out the middle lane. They let him go in, and then the arrow goes. The Hawk up on the high ground. Yeah, back it up. Okay, maybe he's have to do it from down here instead, and then arrow that direction. Or he's waiting. Maybe they don't even need the arrow. They've still got these centaurs tanking on the front lines, and they want to use the arrow to scan out if VP's coming in. So just having that arrow on cooldown is not really a great thing. Enigma, no blink dagger. Nope, he's building BKB to start with, which is surprising. He really had to go balls deep with this. The Venomancer Ward goes down. There's the Axis. NS gets the ulti off, but it's only on 2 heroes, and Sing with the Starfall and the AA ulti connecting. Means Venomancer goes down, and Roshan all gunked up at the moment. There's still a Plague Ward in here causing some issues, but the Aegis model is picked up by the Morphling. It didn't know the Plague Ward was just going spastic inside the pit, so it's it's like, which way do I go? Which way do I go? Which way do I go? But it just hit the, it didn't go for the Aegis model. Had indecision is what it had. An indecision. Eternal Envy now is feeling so confident. Gem up on top of him, so he even sees God walking in. He doesn't have burst damage, but they know they can't kill him, which is the more important thing to him, I think, right now. They might rotate up towards the top lane in a moment, because the replica's still, like, it's a waveform to jump out to the replicas is what you can do. So yeah, waveform, out to the replica, did the damage to NS, but just evaporates. And Pylai Dai is just going to be with him the entire way now. With the gem, he's going to stay in close anyway, or else Sergey with this Orca could just start finding pick-off after pick-off. That's why they try and stay with someone who has detection, even though Sing as well as now we don't have that. If he does show himself, they still have an army. Where 2 trolls, 1 troll as well as 2 centaurs. There's very little that we're facing C9. In fact, C9 right now should really be looking to go high ground. Like, take the tier 2 tower and bring VP back north. Because if they keep staying, like, split, then VP will still keep finding farm. And this Doombringer will eventually catch up. I'm not going to say Devour's like the greatest item to help him do this, but it'll help. It will get him there eventually. If he can still keep coming out of his base like he is. Like, God's farming up the middle lane. You got Illidan pushing out the bottom lane. The AOD will connect here. And Beastmaster, if he wanted to, could roar and then they fight with the TP. But he's trying to keep him distracted. Because you got the Undead army pushing through the top. Now, those cogs actually do very little. Right? They burn a couple of the creeps off. But the damage they wanted to dish out here has been done. This wasn't a push to take out the tower. This was a push to bring VP up. That's what it was right there. Nothing more. So they go back to their farming. You see Envy now getting to a point where he'll have damage shortly. So 3.2k gold up on him. And he could just buy the E-Blade. Sing. Even with the Shadow Blade up. If that arrow connected, it would have been a very, very quick regeneration rune into the Starfall and try and finish the job. Hey, ulti also is not giving VP a moment of rest. So Howie keeps the top lane pressured out with just his creep army while he gets to fall back. They leave aggressive warding, something we didn't. I mean, Dirk and I were noticing it during the last game. There was no warding like this. There was no, like, control over the map. There was no vision to know where VP were moving. And this is one of the most important things. Now they see God taking out one of the centaurs of Chen. So they realized VP was on the hunt inside their own jungle. Well, Doombringer now. Oh, we get to add a new one to the mix. We're going to go for a Basher. I don't know if he's hoping he'll trigger out that Lincoln Sphere at one point or get a lot of control, but yeah, I don't think he's really got another choice. He needs the Abyssal fully. So then he may be able to control the Mirana. As Mirana doesn't even care. She knows BKB is not much of a point because Clockwork as well as Enigma will control her if she goes into the BKB. So it's just better to go all-out damage. So Manta, Maelstrom, maybe even going for a Chrysalis if he doesn't want to finish the Mjolnir straight away. Envy's just hovering on this bottom lane. Illidan, the smoke breaks, and that should be called. But at the same time, Bone 7, blink up, there's your Roar. Aeoldi straight behind it. Arrow, follow up. As well as the lightning coming out from Mirana, ensuring the kill on the Clinks. And this now means that the tower, which they injured before, I'm not saying, actually, they can't go for the tower they did before. They have to go straight up the middle lane and do it all over again. The Morphling almost has enough money for his, for Actually, no, he hasn't. I take it back. He has enough money for his E-Blade. Should fly out in the courier. He's got a high boost of agility already just pushing in. And with a chilling touch on him, he's being sent back to pick it up. And then we'll jump back to this replicate. Just a little bit further north. It's just looking to bait out. They know what it is, and they can see NS. That's why he wants to jump to it. E-Blade, waveform, boom! The arrow was never even able to connect. So Venomancer ulti, no longer a factor in this fight. Doombringer's going to try and run in through the rear. But there's also no roar coming out from the Beastmaster. Fortification is definitely making C9 be a little bit more cautious about this. And they're watching the tree line very, very closely. But Mirana's still doing the job with Eternal Envy. Like, they're attacking the range racks. They realize this is the easier one to bring down as another adaptive strike. Just harassment. E-Blade's off cooldown in 1 second time. And they've still got the Aegis the Immortal. What VP don't have is a team. And GG. They can't stop that. C9, they even got the Raw back off cooldown. They have the E-Blade to work with. NS comes out for one last feed. But that is going to be GG, and C9 will advance themselves through with Team Liquid and Na'Vi through Group 2 of the D2CL. They join Team Empire, who's already ensured their semi-final position. And they will also join Alliance. Well, I say they should join Alliance. These last two games that are coming out between Sigma Fnatic and Alliance Roskis could really change up a lot. We could see him leveled up. We could see a lot of teams leveled up. We have another three-way tie of 2-all. Hey! There's your hole! There's your hole! But there's also Mirana sitting outside just attacking in. One last good thing, and he calls the GG, so at least the timer is ticking down now. Yeah, but for all those details for the tournament, head yourself over to the d2cl.org website. It'll give you all the information you want. I know I promised you 2 more codes as well. I'm going to put the third one over on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/TobiWan Dota. And the second code, if you click on the buttons, you'll be heading yourself over to dota2lounge.com/giveaway. And the code you were searching for is N6F9. If you're the first one to put in N6F9, you'll win yourself 10 free rares, courtesy of Dota 2 Lounge, one of the supporters of the D2CL. And of course, thank you very much to everyone who has tuned in tonight. VODs will be uploaded right here on the Dailymotion channel, so dailymotion.com/join Dota. 2 days later, they'll also appear in our feed over on YouTube. We give Dailymotion the first bite of the cake, of course, as they are the sponsors of this tournament. So for now, thanks for watching, peoples. Hope you enjoy the live streams. If you want to catch me next time on the live stream, you'll be looking for Join Dota Red. You can find the live stream link over on joindota.com. I'll be back tomorrow casting Vici Gaming going up against DK. Vici Gaming going up against DK. Gonna be amazing. That's for the Cena Cup as the winner bracket final for that matchup, and I look forward to your company then. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time here on the live stream.